Hey, good evening and welcome to a very special evening edition of Breakthrough Walls. I'm Ken Walls and I'm your host, and I have the one, the only, the CEO of CBD101 on. He's coming on. His name is Justin Benton, and trust me, you guys want to hear what this dude has to say. So do me a favor and share this out, and let's rock and roll here in a second. Stay with us. And we are back. Let me bring Justin Benton on. Justin, welcome again. You've been on Breakthrough Walls before, dude.
Two-timer. I need like a jacket like they do on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, they do that?
Five-timer.
5.
Yep.
Okay, well.
It's a nice leather, or not leather, but like velvet smoking jacket, burgundy, Tom Hanks, Steve Martin, all that. It's always kind of funny.
Really? Mm-hmm. I'm fresh out of those, but
well, I'll settle for that ClickFunnels Letterman jacket that you got.
Did you get one?
They did. They ran out. They had like small and medium, and I'm like, I'm not a small, medium, or medium. So,
dude,
and I'm ordering some more just for myself. And I think I inspired Miles and Robbie and Russell to get some inner circle ones for.
Oh, dude,
those are so cool.
It's sitting right there, right over there.
We were not paid by ClickFunnels to sponsor that, even though your shirt's wearing it and it's everywhere.
I know. Well, I don't have a CBD101 shirt, so there's that.
It's the sweatshirt's in the mail, brother.
Look, he's sending a text to his assistant right now. Hey, get Ken Walls one of these shirts. So we have some rock stars. Tammy Thrasher Mitchell is on. Victoria Estopinal is on. Darlene Eaton, Bruce Mills, Christopher Voss. Oh my goodness. Ron Jones, what's happening? Scott Ricard is joining us. And we have Ingram Interactive. I don't know who that is. Do you know who that is? No.
I don't know. I heard he's apparently some kind of smart sales guy.
Right. Yeah. The genius, Mr. Joe Ingram. Scott Klein, what is happening? So Justin and I are good friends, if you can't tell. And I am actually a very, very, very happy customer of his as well. And so can I just give a little bit of the backstory? So as most people know that follow me, I'm a recovered alcoholic, and I kept hearing about, I would watch you, I'd hear other people talk about the magical healing powers of CBD. And I was like, okay, except for I'm a recovered alcoholic and I don't need any triggering to go on and me be out binging on booze all of a sudden because I got high off of some CBD. Or I'm a recovered alcoholic and I don't need what just happened? I hear myself all of a sudden because I got high off of some CBD. Hold on, I'm muting you. I muted you until you figure that out because that's annoying hearing myself. Did you figure it out? Unmute yourself then. Or here, I'll do it. Or did I? Yeah. So I got on the phone with you. I said, all right, dude, listen, I can't use this stuff. And you're like, why? And I'm like, because I'm a recovered alcoholic. And you're like, ah. And I said, okay. And you went into how it works. And I'd love for you to tell everybody. And look, Joe says he's a recovering Justin-aholic.
There's only one cure for that, and that's more Justin.
I need more cowbell. Tammy Mitchell says she's a happy customer. Like there are so many. So there are, and there's Skylar Herb. So listen, if you've never learned, and I really want people to understand this, if you think you know something about CBD, or you think you know, let's just have Justin tell us about this. So Justin, talk about the beginning, kind of why, what were you doing for a living prior to all of this? What kind of pushed you in this direction? Talk about that.
Well, it was always funny that people used to always say, in my previous life, they used to say, "So what do you do for a living?" And my answer was always, "I golf." And they're like, "Oh, so you're a professional golfer?" Like, no, 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 that's what I do. I like to go play golf as much as possible. And so beforehand, I was in sales and marketing. I've been in my entire life. And life was good. I had a jet setter kind of life. We had one child at the time, always on the golf course, traveling. Business was great. Just, nothing, no complaints. And we had our second child, and our second child was healthy, happy. Everything was great. And, the picket fence, the dog, whatever. I mean, life couldn't have been any better. And even if you drove a Toyota, that's for you there, Jay. And so, and then all of a sudden we were, noticing that my son stopped, communicating, making eye contact, kind of went into his own little world. Us dads, we kind of, were a little bit in denial or what have you. And I was just like, oh, it's a phase. We'll grow out of it. My wife took him into to get a checkup or a diagnosis, and it came back. We got a phone call that just, stopped our world. And it was that he had developed a severe diagnosis of autism. And so, I mean, it was just the biggest gut punch of my life. I mean, just literally the world stopped. And just like how we went through what we all went through in March 2020, where the world just seems to stop spinning. And whatever life that you had before was no longer. And because now all of my focus was how can I help my son? How can I bring him back to where he was playing catch, and I was teaching him t-ball. He was around 3 years old. And so I started doing a bunch of research. And fortunately, I had grown up holistically with plant-based medicine, and I just started digging in. And I came across some research that showed that this plant was helping children with epilepsy and seizures. And that was like the best lead that we ever possibly could have hoped for, because I knew autism was neurological, like an autoimmune disease, like inflammation of the brain, and the brain's not firing correctly. So when I saw that there was a plant out there that was helping children with epilepsy and seizures, I was like, okay, this could be it, right? And you're praying to God that it is. And so I researched, I met with doctors, I traveled the world, I looked everywhere I possibly could, because at this time, no one had ever linked CBD or cannabidiol with autism helping. It was literally blind faith, and me just flipping rocks and throwing mud against the wall and seeing what would stick. And so we tried a bunch of products that were on the market. We didn't get the results that we wanted, but then we dug a little bit deeper, because that was the best lead that I had.
Let me interrupt you. So you said that you were trying other CBD products that were already on the market.
Correct. And back then it was so brand new, and there was, their products on the market were, they tasted funny. Some of them didn't taste like anything. They were certainly over processed. And the problem is like your concern before was, well, I don't want to take your product, Justin, because I don't want to get high. I don't want to have a psychotic effect. Well, that's how Americans have thought of cannabis since 1937, when it was made illegal. And it was because, and that's how we processed it. We smoke it, we put it in a bowl, we put fire to it. Well, that's the problem. What happened when people started making CBD, when they started seeing it help children with seizures, they thought, oh, well, let's take the plant and let's put fire to it. So let's turn the natural plant that makes CBDA, and let's put fire to it and turn it into CBD, just like we did with the THC things. Well, like we always say around here, if you want to get healthy, eat it. You know what I mean? If you want to get high, if that's your thing, then go find THCA. And
you are in California, so
I am. There, and it's legal as can be out here. That's for sure. It's 21. So again, that was how everyone thought about how to make the product was, okay, so we think of cannabis or marijuana. We have to heat it to activate it, and that's how it's going to work for CBD. Well, that's not. how it works for CBD. In fact, the guy that discovered CBD in 1963, or he was the one that first researched it, was Dr. Raphael Mechoulam. He discovered, he came out in 2019, he flew out to Pasadena for CanMed, Cannabis Medical, and he told the whole world that our product, whole plant, raw, CBDA, was 1,000 times more powerful than the other CBD products out there, the CBD isolates. And basically, because it's raw and it's whole plant, our bodies know how to interpret it and how to use it. We made that same oil for my son. When I found the research back in 2015 with Dr. William Courtney, I did a simple cold press. My son was at a pumpkin patch. He was under the bench, kicking, screaming, as children do on the spectrum, overwhelmed, didn't want to be there. I had made the tincture that morning. I gave it to my wife. In fact, I have one right here. And I just said, hey, let's try that while he's tantruming. And she gave it to him. And literally 2 minutes later, he snapped out of it. And then all the grandparents and the aunt and uncle were there and like, what was that? What did you give him? And it was the cold pressed whole plant raw CBDA. So that's how I got into the industry, and it was the answer to our prayers. And man, it's been an answer to a lot of other people's prayers for a lot of other reasons as well.
You know, Dr. Laura is on here. Not the radio personality, but my friend, Dr. Laura. She says we need to talk because she deals with a lot of patients with Alzheimer's and other issues. So, you know, yes, I'm answering for you. Sorry. So like cold pressing a juice. And that's one of the, this is one of the things that I just love about you, dude. You're like, you know what? We'll send you the seeds. You can grow it yourself. We'll teach you how to do like you can grow it yourself if you want. You're like, I don't care. Like, and I love that about you because you're just promoting health. You're promoting how to get healthy, how to use what, and I think that let's talk about the negative stigmas, man, because there are a lot of negative stigmas. It's like well, yeah, that's a hippie thing, man. Like that's not, you know, I mean, but it's not, it's something that talk about some of the, and I know you can't make, claims.
I can do whatever I want on here. No.
Yeah, that's true. But talk about some of the, I mean, there's been miracles, man.
Yeah. Well,
starting with your son.
Yeah. Well, my son was autism. He's no longer considered autistic. He's no longer on the spectrum. He plays baseball and basketball. I'm his coach. He goes to regular school. He doesn't have any AIDS. He gets great grades. You know, he's back to himself. And that was all that we wanted. And when we started a little.org to help other people tell our story, share the same products, teach people how to grow it, and break through the stigmas like you talked about, because we're so conditioned since 1937 to think of this plant as just evil thing. And look, at the end of the day, we there's plenty of evil things that lurk around our country that are legal. You know, alcohol being a primary one, tobacco being another one, not to mention we could just talk about our food source and the kind of food that we eat and are putting into our bodies every day. And so the thing about our product is that we saw great results for other people. And at first it was like rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease that, you know, doctors really don't know what to prescribe. And then we saw it for neuropathy, which is like shooting pain, nerve numbing. And we saw it work tremendously within days for people. And if you go to our podcast, Miracle Plant Podcast, you'll hear their stories. That's why we started a podcast, so you could hear it from their mouth. And then we saw incredible stories with cancer. And it wasn't just the symptoms. It was literally, there's scientific proof out there that it can help shrink or reduce the growing of tumors. And when I saw that happen, my whole life stopped. And I was like, whatever business I did before, it was all just training me to do this. Communication style, persuasion, transferring belief into the person on the other end, because that's what people need. They needed some hope, and we needed to take control of our own health. And by taking a little cold press oil, and it helped them with their severe illness or ailment, then people started to think like, well, what else could I do for myself? Maybe take a salad instead of a burger, maybe drink more water, maybe go on that walk, maybe focus on getting a good night's sleep. And that's And that's really what it's been the most beautiful thing to be a part of, to see people take control of their health and go from gray and beaten down and without hope to like these bouncing around 73-year-old women and doing yoga and plant-based diets, and they're like glowing. So it's been wonderful.
You know, we so you included in one of the somebody asked about the website, so I'm gonna just pop that up here for anybody that's interested in giving it a go. Um, my mother-in-law has arthritis in her knees, and you had given me a roll-on, I think a little add-on, maybe I don't think I bought it, whatever, it doesn't matter, but I gave it to her, she used it, and I mean, just boom, she swears by it, she loves your product. So it's absolutely insane. So Laura has a question. Have you weaned him and the symptoms come back?
Good question. So I never, so think of whole plant hemp, which is what this is. It's a leafy green vegetable. So every morning we make him a juice with leafy green kale, with celery, with apples, carrots, all organic. We have some great probiotics that we put in there as well, and we put in the fresh hemp that we have in our backyard that I grow from our own family's garden. But then we also have some of our own oil that we put in as well. So you would never want to wean yourself off of a superfood, right? You wouldn't want to wean yourself off of broccoli. And I know what you're saying, because you think like that's how our brains think. We think like, oh, well, you need to, get off of something. Well, this is really a fundamental principle that hemp is actually a dietary essential. And this weekend, I'm actually going to have Dr. William Courtney on, the original raw cannabis doctor, is going
Wow.
to be on the show, the event that we're having this weekend, to talk about just how incredible eating this plant has become. And so, to answer your question, he's maybe gone a couple of days without getting his raw hemp juice or his raw hemp oil, if we're like traveling or things like that. And you're fine, you know what I mean? But it's like we wouldn't want to stop eating healthy. We wouldn't want to stop eating salads and live whole plant vegetables. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So no, it's not a matter of having to worry about taking him off of it. But I'll tell you this, when we introduce crappy things into his diet, like if we go to Disneyland and he sneaks in a hot dog or he gets an ice cream, I mean, dairy, gluten, processed food, refined sugars, that's junk for all of us. And if you've got some conditions where your body can't detoxify and work the way it's supposed to work, you're asking for trouble. And yeah, he can turn into a bit of a brat if he eats crappy, but so do a lot of other kids. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about weaning. You just always, we are what we eat, and we know that, but it's so true.
Wow. That's so powerful. Laura says 73 is young.
Heck yeah.
But
Just move around the sun.
she said it has to be better than gabapentin and Lyrica. They have so many side effects.
We have so many people that come in on those pills. The average is 4 pharmaceuticals that walks in the front door. I'm actually at one of our stores here in Ojai, California. So the average person comes in on 4 pharmaceuticals, and after using our products consistently for 30 days, they're less than 1. But gabapentin and all the pain and the opiates and the side effects and the stuff they put the kids on, and the seizure medicine, the Keppra. I mean, and you just can't imagine the crap that's out there, that we're subjecting ourselves to. And look, doctors want to help, but what they've been trained is to write a prescription and not really get to the heart of the matter. We're treating the symptom. We're not treating, the actual problem, which is upstream, which is we eat like crap. We've got pesticides and heavy metals everywhere, and we need to exercise more. We need to get outside, get some fresh vitamin D on your forehead 20 minutes a day. We need to drink at least half of our weight in pounds and ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you need to be drinking 100 ounces of good water. There's a lot of crappy water out there. You need to make sure it's reverse osmosis, natural, spring water, or even distilled. These are some of the common things that we kind of all know. We're just not implementing. And again, that's why I know we're going to talk about an event we're having coming up this weekend to really show people, tell people, like, this is what we need to do to take control of our health.
Scott Klein asks, what are some of the meds that most people are on that they're able to eliminate? You kind of just talked a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, most people, right? So most people are having issues with pain, stress, and sleep, right? Those are the most common issues. So we all know about the opioid crisis and people trying to get off of the opioids that were never meant to be a long-term solution. So that's a
Right.
big one. So narcotics, opioids, those types of things, the narcos and things like that. That's a big one, right? And people are in pain, and we're taking things that have side effects, right? The next one would be anxiety and stress. The Xanax and all the other names of all the other pills out there. And people, it can work sort of for some people for some period of time, but they don't quite feel like themselves. They don't feel like they're on their own skin. And we all know eventually you're hurting your liver, you're doing things that have some type of side effects. And then the last one is sleep, the Ambiens and the things like that we've heard about. And we're trying to play chemistry with our own bodies instead of getting back to the things we know that work. And the simplest things that work are, again, it's you are what you eat, it's water, it's exercise, it's mindfulness, and I think if we all lived, if we took these phones and we all just decided like we're done with them, right? And we just all decided tomorrow we're going to throw them in the ocean, I promise you our stress levels would go down and our sleep levels would go up. We are
Yep.
constantly being inundated with information and with notifications and this and that. And we're trying to, all these different types of things. If we lived on a deserted island and we were just trying to decide, do I want coconut juice for dinner tonight or pineapple juice? I have a funny feeling there'd be less stress in our world.
Dude, that is so funny. Okay, Laura says so she wants to see the event. We're getting there. Do you happen to know what pain pathway it blocks?
The 5,1-HTA, I believe, is the receptor. And it doesn't actually block it. So we could go way down. And the best thing to do if you want to have like a consultation is to go to askjanet.org. Ask Janet, actually my mom. And so she's a holistic healer and she's certified and integrative. And we have all of the like real technical stuff. And she can go down there and talk that.
Uh-oh. What happened? Justin, are you there?
I'm here. Is it me that disappeared? So
yeah, you did.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
No worries. We're up in the mountains here in Ojai. But
gotcha.
So
cool. Laura says, I want my hands on you and that doctor.
anytime.
So I think that Jamie says, alleviate. Okay, so Scott says, Jamie, I'm not sure what you mean. Can you explain that, please, Justin? I'll give you full screen. You can hold it up. Or do you have any right there?
Oh, so Alleviate X, Blackberry Cobbler. That's our most popular product for pain. It's got a little organic white willow bark infused into the whole cold pressed hemp plant, high in CBDA. And it literally helps reduce inflammation. It doesn't trick the brain. It doesn't block receptors. It literally solves the problem. It's the best anti-inflammatory on planet Earth. Just like when we think about a sunburn and aloe vera, think about pain relief, pain reduction, inflammation reduction, and think about hemp. And that's one of my missions is to educate people. We just don't know. I didn't know. And so now you get to know. We want, and I'm estimating it's going to take me 5 to 7 years to teach people that we should be taking plants again instead of pills.
So let me ask the audience a question. I think it's a very important question. Drop a 1 in the comments if you feel like taking control of your health is important to you. Drop a 1. Is taking control of your health important? Just the number 1. That's all. Let's see. Darlene says, I'm looking for a new good CBD company to get back into, Justin. I only have a few drops left in my bottle. Well,
how about we give this one away? How about we ask a question and we'll give it away?
Oh, snap. Justin's in a giving mood. Uh-oh. So let me ask you this. Migraines. Is this effective with migraines?
Absolutely. So, you
Wow.
know, the pain and the inflammation, this would be the one for migraines. We
Yeah.
also have topicals that you can rub on the side of your temples and the back of your neck, which work
Yep.
great for migraines. So between the topicals for pain and migraines and the Alleviate X, the sublingual oil that you hold under your tongue for 5 minutes and then swallow, sublingual glands under your tongue go directly into your blood, up to 70% absorption when you hold it there. That's where the magic happens. And in fact, in 1937, they passed the Marijuana Tax Act, which made marijuana and hemp illegal in our country, even though George Washington grew it. And we actually grew hemp seeds to make gunpowder from that we imported from Asia under the British noses so we could beat them in war. They made it illegal in 1937. But in 1936, American Medical Association, AMA, wrote 2.3 million prescriptions for cannabis hemp oil for migraines and other types of things. This is
Look
a
what
part of it.
look what Jeff Christensen says.
Yeah.
It really works. After my neck surgery, my doctor prescribed CBD to help with the pain and swelling. Worked like magic.
I'm so happy to hear that. I know I got him some of the stronger stuff, the 1600 milligram.
You've got Patricia Watson. What did you not see Cheech and Chong? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. This doesn't get you high. I just got to say that. There's no psychotropic effects at all. For anybody that just joined, Justin's going to explain how you get a psychotropic effect from any product related to this.
Yeah, I mean, what you do is you find a strain that's high in THCA, and in our country we call it marijuana, even though it's just a strain of cannabis. And then you have to heat it. You have to turn that THCA into THC delta 9. If you ate raw cannabis like Chong did when the cop was pulling him over, and he goes on like a 4-day like acid
Yeah,
trip,
right.
but in reality, all he would be doing is getting like Popeye eating spinach. He would just be super healthy. You do not get high when you eat raw cannabis.
Wow. What about blood pressure benefits?
Again, so the whole plant of cannabis helps our bodies find what's called homeostasis or balance. And our bodies have this system called an endocannabinoid system. Now, this endocannabinoid system actually helps balance all other 9 major systems in our body, which people don't know. In fact, we've only discovered this particular endocannabinoid system in 1991. So the medical doctors and the medical community doesn't even know half this information. You're actually going to be more educated than your doctor by listening to this particular Breakthrough Walls, by listening and seeing how this plant works. So if you have high blood pressure or if you have low blood pressure, it's going to help your body find homeostasis or balance. Think of it like a thermostat, right? If your blood pressure raises up to 90 degrees, but the thermostat's set at 72, when you take a whole plant, oil like ours, it's going to bring it down to that 72. So it even helps bring up the low blood pressure. If it's down at 60 and the thermostat set at 72, it'll help bring it up.
Wow.
Again, it's helping find homeostasis. It's not just the oil. There's other ways to do it too. And that's what we're going to be talking about this weekend. Your body knows how to heal. When you're 7 years old and you get a scratch, you don't have to think about it. Come on, body, heal. Come on, body, heal. No, you wake up the next morning and it's gone. But as we get older and we have introduced more toxins into our body, it's harder for our bodies to recover. But the things and the best way to recover is sleep, exercise, water, mindfulness, and lots of good food and nutrition.
Amen. So Darlene says I'm on 500. Justin's is, well, you have different versions of it, varieties of it, but let's talk about and Patricia says so you don't need to apologize. I was just having fun. Is there a version that helps with anxiety? Chill X.
Yeah, yep. That one's awesome. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Excuse me. Ernest says, can CBD do anything for I can't even say that. What is that?
Subluxated vertebrae. So here's the thing, Ernest. The proof's in the pudding. So let me get you some CBD. We got this thing. There's 2 things that I would recommend. One would be the Alleviate with the white willow bark, and the other would be one of the roll-ons. So if you want to reach out to me, I'll send you one in the mail. The sampler, like Ken was saying. that
Yeah.
helps out. And the topicals can only go so far. The sublingual oils that go into the blood go deep, and they get in the bloodstream, and they can penetrate further down if there's a more chronic or severe issue. So that one probably sounds like the way to go is going to be the Alleviate X sublingual.
Wow. Look, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff's like, yes. He's not going to give any details, just yes, because it works. It works. I'm telling you, I've experienced some amazing results myself personally. That's why I said, let me get you on. Let's talk about this again, because we talked about it before, but over time things continue to unfold. You get more evidence, you get more, and it's unbelievable some of the stuff that's happening. So talk about this event. A bunch of people dropped a one when I said, I mean, a bunch. So talk about this event that you have coming up. I have the website scrolling across the bottom. You can go register for free to attend the event, right?
Oh yeah,
Is it free? Okay.
free.
Okay. Look, Darlene said, I never even got sick in 2021. How soon do you see benefits from different ailments?
Everything's different. You know what I mean? Everyone's bodies are different. And
Yeah.
it's like walking downstairs. If it took you 20 years to develop the ailment or the chronic, issue that you're dealing with, you can't like take a magic pill and go all the way back up that flight of stairs. So again,
Right.
what we're talking about here for the tcoyh.org, which is takecontrolofyourhealth.org, is we want people, yes, taking these products can seriously have amazing results for pain, stress, for sleep, but it's kind of like it's just an awakening. It's like taking the red pill at the Matrix or at the what's the little Alice in Wonderland, right? That's the original. And so
Right.
but then it's like, what else could I do besides take the red pill? I could drink more water, good clean water. We're going to go into a huge module on water and have some experts in there. We need to be eating better food, folks. We got to be eating organic. What do you think pesticides are doing to your body? We've already started to see some of the studies and some of the class action lawsuits that are out there with Roundup and the glyphosate. The things that are literally causing people cancer. We got to stay away from the heavy metals that are in our soil. We need to take control of our own health. And so when you do those things, when you drink plenty of water, of good clean water, when you eat the good food, when you're mindful, and I know Ken talks a lot about mindset, and we're going to have John Lee Dumas on, and he's going to talk about some of his things that helps him with his morning rituals.
Yeah.
And the journaling and those types of things. And Ken's got a wonderful journal, and Ken goes deep into gratefulness and listing the 10 things that you're grateful for every morning. I mean, look, we've got a 2 million old brain. This old brain is looking for a saber-tooth tiger to jump out of a bush. Well, that ain't the case no more. We're programmed for fear because we're trying to stay alive. That's the lizard brain. We need to get up here and we need to reprogram the brain to look for what's right.
Yeah. Ron Jones wants to know, he apparently must be on your website. Is there a coupon code you can give everybody if they buy right now, if they buy something?
1025, baby, 25% off.
1025.
Ken.
Oh, my name?
Yeah, remember we made you one a long time ago. Ken 25.
Oh, I forgot. Listen, I got to say this. Jeff Christensen, which a lot of people know him as Jay Fox, the nationally syndicated radio host. That's there. He says it. I'm so grateful he listened to your knowledge, not opinion, but your knowledge, because now he feels incredible again. Patricia says the Matrix is on right now. That's awesome. So if you hold on, there was somebody else. So Ken 25 will get you 25% off. I did not know that. Laura had a question up here. Does an opioid addicted person need a higher dose to come off of Western medicine meds?
Well, here's the crazy thing about cannabis and hemp is it can actually work better in lower doses. So we always recommend people start off with half of a dropper full for a normal sized adult. So we're talking, half of a dropper is like 10 milligrams of sublingual oil. Now,
Mm.
after 3 days or a few days, if you're still in pain or if you're having withdrawals, by all means, do a full dropper, do a dropper and a half, do whatever it takes, to make sure you don't have like withdrawal symptoms or you're not in pain. Everyone has to find the threshold, but number one, a lower amount can actually have a higher effect, and if you take too much, you're wasting it as well. So everyone
Mm.
is a little bit different. We always say start slow, go low, but take more if you need it. Like for me, I'll take a dropper and a half. That's about 45 milligrams of CBD when I'm taking my CBD. I take it in the morning. I get up at 5 every morning. It's gets my head going. I hit to the gym, and that's how I start my day. And then if there's some stress or anxiety of life, I'll take it in the afternoon and help out with that. And then some people will take it at night, a half hour before bed, and helps them get some deep REM sleep.
Scott Klein says, what's the website? The website, if you want to order it right now, is 101cbd.org. I just changed the scrolling banner. And I'll change it back for the event, because anyone that dropped a 1 and you say, yeah, it's important to start taking control of my health. You should be at TCOYH. Go to that website.org and get registered for this. It's a free event to attend, and there's going to be some amazing people there. Darlene asks a question. Now, I'm curious about this because I'll have to look, but it's an interesting question. Do y'all have the hemp seal approval on your bottles?
I'm not sure what the hemp seal approval is, but we do use hemp, and it is certified. It is certified COA for everything by a third party. We use a company out here in California called CannaSafe. So everything is certified. Hemp seal approval, I haven't heard of, but I'm certainly interested in learning all that I possibly can.
I'm going to create a company where I sell my seal of approval.
They already have them. Yeah, there's a couple of them out there that charge you $1,500 to be approved.
See, that's yeah, it's like the Better Business Bureau. Like,
they're only 800, and boy,
I
do they
know.
cost a lot. My
Yeah.
God.
If you pay us $800, we'll make sure you have a good score. So the website again, Scott, is it CBD101 or 101 CBD?
101cbd.org.
101 CBD.org.
Code 1025. And there's
So,
even a greatest hits on there. We can get a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah, that's awesome. Do you take the Chillax once a day? What's your recommendation?
I take the Chillax once a day in the afternoon, just for like calming stress, anxiety. I've got 4 young kids, which are great, but they come with their own challenges. And, running 2 or 3 businesses out here in California. And so, I can tend to, I wear my emotions on my sleeve, if you can't tell. So I can run a little hot. So taking a little CBD is like getting a little meditation in. So yeah, I take it in the afternoon.
You said I can run a little hot. That's funny. So you, I mean, what are some of the other stories? I know that you've got a bunch. If people want to hear the stories from, I mean, you've got customers on here right now talking about how it's changed their lives. Jeff Christensen and other people on here. Like, what are some amazing stories where people have
Well,
emailed or
it's late night. Let me give you the crazy one, right? So here's the crazy one, and I think I alluded to a little bit earlier.
do you find any here? Answer that real fast. Do you find anyone having side effects by any of the products?
Getting deeper sleep at night. That's what I always say, because it's the truth.
That is true.
People are like, wait a second, side effects are supposed to be negative. Like, no, that's what pills and commercials have taught you. Side effects can be positive, like pronoia, right? Like Glenn always says. So,
dude, that is the best answer to any question ever. You're like, getting deeper sleep at night. That's so funny.
Here's the thing, right? So, like I think I alluded to this earlier in the call, is I was sitting there and we had opened up a little .org to try and just share our story, share our products, and all that good stuff. And then this lady came up the stairs. This was on a second. We had there was a staircase you had to walk up. It was an office suite building. We didn't know we were going to open a retail store. I had an extra suite. And this lady comes up there, and she's in her 70s, and she says she's German, from Germany, and with the accent. And she says, look, I've got stage 4 cancer. It's come back. I've gone through chemo and radiation. I would rather die, literally, than go through that again. I've done all my research, as Germans do. And she says, you guys have the best product around. I'm going to buy your oil, and I'm going to take your oil. And if I live, I live. And if I die, I die. And if you know Germans from Germany, that's just the way it's matter of fact. And so this blew me away. I'm like, this is because when I thought of cancer, and maybe you think some others right now think of cancer the same way, you think of like life sentence. You think of like, oh my God, get your affairs in order. And so, I just was kind of like, I'd lost my grandma to cancer. So many of us have been infected by cancer. And I had just this real doom and gloom, like, oh my God, kind of thought process when she said she's going to take hemp oil, the same hemp oil that I made to help heal my son with autism, for her cancer, come hell or high water, live or die. So I was like, honestly freaking out. Like this was, you're not going to tell her one way or the other. And she is working with oncologists down at UCLA. And so she came by, she took the product, she came back a couple weeks later, she bought some more product. We gave her 50% off, as we do for all people that are dealing with cancer. And so she kept coming back. And then finally, after like 3 months, I asked her, I said, so how's it going? Like, how are you? And she's like, I'm doing great. I'm playing tennis 4 or 5 times a week. And I've got a clean bill of health. No more cancer. Now, look, I'm not saying that this cured her cancer, but what I'm saying is that's what happened. She also was exercising, had a good mindset, probably well hydrated, and getting some good sleep and exercise, playing tennis. And the body wants to heal. Take control of your own health. We can't put our control and give it to someone else. Folks, this is the time. Red pill time. Take control. Step out of the matrix. We know what we need to do. And if you don't know what you need to do, come join me. I'm going to have world-class experts. I'm talking Dr. William Courtney, the raw cannabis doctor, is going to be there. We're going to have, a lot of you guys know Steve Rizzo. He's going to be kicking it off with Mindset on Saturday. We're going to have breath work, like from the Wim Hof Institute's going to be there. JLD is going to be there on morning routine with his things. We're going to have people that are actually going to have yoga on the beach Friday. So we're going to film. We do yoga on the beach every Friday. We sponsor it. And this time we're going to sponsor it and have Laura Singer, who's a certified instructor who does it every Friday on the beach. And we're going to invite you to participate at home or wherever you are. And it's just going to be incredible. And it's all free. And you can have access to all this information. Drink the best possible water. We're going to have a 10-day water challenge after that. We're going to show you some exercise that's actually fun, like yoga. We're going to help you with some accountability. We're going to help you find out the best possible sleep. And then we're really, really going to go deep, deep, deep on mindset and food and nutrition and teach you things that you won't hear anywhere else. As I'm sure what you're listening to right now, you haven't heard this before, unless you know me, then you have.
Yeah. Well, I think so. TCOYH.org. Go over there. It's free to attend. Get registered. And right? Am I right about all that? And I mean, take control of your health. It's amazing. So it's virtual. Yes. Darlene says, so this is virtual. Yes. And she says, you explain it so well. Kudos. Darlene asked too, and this, I think it's important to address this, man, because this, and Scott Klein, let's answer his question.
Yeah. Okay. So 400 is usually for small adults or children and small dogs. So 400 milligrams is the lowest dose. So you can start there if you want. Most people get the 800 milligrams. So that's the Chill-X. Chill-X, Alleviate X. X is for extra strength. So most people start at the 800. If you're dealing with something serious like cancer, then that's when people take the 3200, because you're fighting for your life, and why not have all guns blazing, right?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room with this question. Do you have THC free also? And the answer is
no. So here's the reason. So here's the thing. So THC,
Explain this. People need to understand this part.
understand, like, there's two main points. Number one, THCA is actually good for you and it won't get you high. THC Delta 9, that's the recreational side that needs to be heated to be happening. Number two,
Hold it. Say that slower. It needs to what?
needs to be heated, or the fancy word is decarboxylated, to get you high, to have the psychoactive effects.
That's why people smoke it.
Correct. That's why even when you eat a brownie, right, it has to go in the oven. You have to heat it. So, but if you ate cannabis, you should eat cannabis, you would actually get healthy. So that's the biggest thing. And now the other reason why we don't have completely 0% THC, in order to, it's just like decaffeinating coffee beans. In order to manipulate the plant and isolate the plant and denature the plant and turn it into white powder, you don't get the health benefits out of it. So that little trace amount of THC, which has to be less than 0.3%, is good for you. And what they had to do to turn that product into what's called broad spectrum, you might as well just, I don't know, buy yourself one of those pretend power bars that are healthy for you or whatever. Look, it's the plant that you should be eating. If the product you're taking, the hemp or the cannabis product, doesn't smell like hemp or cannabis, it doesn't taste like hemp or cannabis, then all you're eating is some scientific project pharmaceutical model, which we all know is broken.
Wow. THC for bus drivers, police, anyone that could get tested. You've explained that to me before.
Yeah, again, so a lot of people who have those drug tests, check with your local state and your company. A lot of companies and states are getting away from THC testing because it's illegal, especially in states where it's legal. They're not testing for it anymore. But for those situations where you really are worried about it, then yes, maybe you should do a topical that's not going to be sublingual, or maybe you should get a product that's been cooked and processed, but you'll get some benefit out of it if it's of concern to you. But so many more employers are understanding that people are taking CBD. 0.3% THC from hemp is legal. You know what I mean? But we understand, and we're not for everybody. Our products are made to heal the world. It healed my son. It's healed thousands and thousands of people. It'll heal millions more. And the people that come to us are in severe crisis. And if that's you, try our product because it's the real thing.
Yeah. Dennis, good morning over in China, my brother. How you doing? Charles says, I've used 4 different products of Justin's. They've all made me feel much better. Boost X, Chill X, Raw Relief Roll On, and Alleviate X.
Love to hear it.
So there was one other. Oh, Jeff Christensen. I'm German/Danish, and I agree with that lady. It's so much better than you might think. CBD has been wrongly labeled by the government. They just labeled hemp as bad, as the bad drug, because it would take money. Whoa. Take money out of their pockets. I'll bet, I would bet, Justin, that the pharmaceutical industry probably loves you, don't they?
Well, here's the funny thing, right? So like they're making claims and things that there's not enough research, even though it dates back 8,000 years. But so the pharmaceutical company, they patented CBD. Didn't know you could patent a plant, but they did. And they jumped through all their hoops. And so they patented CBD, and they came out with a product called Epidialex. You can look it up. So Epidialex is a synthetic version that actually came from marijuana, and they turned it into, of course, it's a beautiful white pill. And they developed the pill Epidiolex, an acute name, and I'm sure a focus group, they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to come up with a name to mimic what this beautiful plant did to help children with seizures and epilepsy. So our products, if you have epilepsy, we give half off for that as well. We'll run you about $35 a month is how much it usually runs. So you're looking at, for 12 months, you're looking somewhere around $400, and you can be hopefully reduced or done with, the issue that you have. And in many cases, we've seen that. Guess what big pharma charges for that exact, patented pill version of CBD? It's called. Can
I guess?
Hey, Joe, what's up, brother?
So yours is, there's Joe Soto. Okay, so it's $35 a month for yours. I would say that somewhere in the vicinity of $40, because they're going to be a little bit more than you.
Okay, so have everyone put their answer in right now for how much it charges for a year of Epidialex. No cheating, Googlers, and we'll know if it's too close. Put in your answer for what does a year of Epidialex cost for that's only 39% effective because it's isolated and it's a white powder pharmaceutical. Closest 3 answers get a free product.
Whoa! Is that for a whole year or for a month?
For a whole year. For a whole year, how much does it cost to be on Epidialex?
For a whole year. Put your answers in. Can you see the comments? Are you looking at them?
Yep. Yep. So
Okay.
we're getting warmer. Get your comments in. We're getting
what you know.
So
that's what I'm.
Too low. Everyone's too low.
That's
Robert,
what I'm.
I don't know if that's Canadian money. I don't know the conversion rate up there, eh? But so everyone's too low. So here's the thing, and we'll give the next Missy. You're getting there. So Jill, you're getting there. So these are a bunch of winners. Ready for the answer? Drum roll. For Epidialex, which helps children with epilepsy, only 39% effective because it's an isolate versus a whole plant effective treatment, that like our products are, costs $32,500 a year to be on that pharmaceutical product, CBD, which is why the FDA has not ruled on hemp CBD as of yet, because they are set up to regulate billion-dollar companies to jump through billion-dollar hoops, and those hoops have already been jumped through. So that big pharmaceutical, GW Pharma, you can look it up, made $197 million selling the white powder version of CBD. So that's your answer. $35 a month for a whole plant product that works great, and versus a product that works less than half the time for $32,500.
And my wife, God, this pisses me off. I'm so sorry. Pardon my language. That stuff like that. Ugh. All right. So my wife swears by your product. It's helped her with so much. Like she tells me, I told you earlier, we're out of the stuff for the dogs.
Like, in the mail.
It's huge for pets too. It's huge. So I mean, this is man. Charles said I was only off by 90%. Well, we got to do something where we can give something away. We
got some comments in there. I'll come back through, but let's do some more giveaways.
You
get a CBD. You get a CBD.
Justin is the Oprah of the CBD world. So how long has this company of yours been around now?
2014.
2014. Mm-hmm. And you're doing a lot.
I'm doing a lot. But fortunately, I got some help. I'm not like trying to take it all on myself, but
yeah, right.
A lot of masterminds that we've been in together, and Joe Soda was on here who ran it, and it's taught me a lot about hiring the best people and bringing on as much help and delegation. So, but yes, I do have a lot going on, as do you.
Patricia says, I have a client that's on that's.
I don't know what that is yet. That might be a typo.
Wow. And that describes what we have to put up with from Big Pharma. That it's so true. It's so true. I think that how about for pet rabbits? That's funny. Patricia said, I didn't want to curse. I didn't want to curse either. Slim X. Yeah, we have that. Alleviate Pet, the roll on. She uses it on her heel and foot for the plantar fasciitis. It works better than anything. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So what she does, remember that, dude? The rabbit?
I do.
And seriously, Jill, what was that called? Somebody told us what was wrong with the rabbit. We gave the rabbit your CBD, and the rabbit, like, he made it. Like, it's unbelievable. It really, truly is, man. And I am Look, Joe Soto's still on. My wife uses the roll-on daily on her knees post-workout. Exactly.
And someone needs to tell me, Joe, how are you at Disney World without your kids? How did you pull that off? I know you're the master NLP guy, but my goodness, that's
He's at
amazing.
Disney World?
That's what I saw.
I didn't see that. Did Joe unfriend me? Wow, Joe. Thanks, dude. I didn't see that. Let's see. My friend just ordered some for her dog who was having seizures.
Awesome. I mean, it's black and white, right? With seizures, with pets. Pets are more intuitive. They understand their body. So if there's pain, they'll walk gingerly. And when there's not pain, they'll put their feet down. And we see so many pet owners that's like cannot believe the results because they see the way their dog walks or hops up on the couch, or the neighbor would be like, I thought your dog died 3 years ago. They were walking her down the street. So pets, we always say, are our favorite animals or favorite clients because they don't have the conscious brain to sit there and ask themselves, is the CBD working? Is it the CBD or is it something else?
Is it the CBD or is this the placebo?
Yeah,
Am I experiencing placebo? So Missy says the endometriosis medicine they gave me was $300 a month. I use the roll-on instead, and it works so much better.
Awesome. Love it, Missy.
Scott Klein just ordered some. Congratulations, brother.
I can't wait. And take more if you need more, and hold it under your tongue for at least 5 minutes.
And there is no placebo. That's right. And I love, look, our body has an incredible ability to heal itself with the right tools. These products are those tools. Ernest says, I have calcium deposits on my bones and spurs. Wow. I need something for pain. Wow. That sounds.
We'll get you a little sampler to try.
Wow. Wow. So Ron Jones just purchased the bundle. Wow.
What are you talking about, Ron?
Well, I want, and this wasn't okay, so Justin and I talked about doing this to get some people to go to the Take Control of Your Health summit that he's doing this weekend, which is scrolling across the bottom. This was not meant to sell products. Like, that's not what this was about. We really want to see a bunch of people get signed up for the TCOYH.org. Go over and get signed up. It's free. There's no catch. Go get signed up, attend it. Justin, tell everybody again what it's about and who all is going to be there.
Well, I can't tell you everything because Joe's watching, and Joe knows you got to leave some curiosity. But we're going to talk about the 5 pillars of health and the things that you can do, simple things that you can do to take control of your health. Because as we talked about today, if we put our faith and control in others, we may not get the results that we want. We need to take back the control of our own health. And that talks, those are the things that we've been talking about today. We're bringing in world-class experts. We're going to have some like gamification where we have like teams and we root each other on. We're going to have like a 10-day challenge and all this kind of fun stuff just so people actually are held accountable. Because look, there's a reason why we're doing it mid-January. We all have these New Year's resolutions. We're all going to do this. We're going to do that. And then we're right at that moment where, we went and had that steak or that cheeseburger or that extra dessert or whatever it was, or we stopped going to the gym or whatever. But we want to give people insights and accountability tools to help make sure that you push through this year. Because look, we all understand that the average American put on 24 pounds since March of 2020. And we need to shed that weight. We know how important our health is. We've seen it, unfortunately, in too many loved ones and friends that we've lost or have been severely sick. And I know, Ken, you had to go through quite about yourself. And we have to take our health. It's not casual. It can be a matter of life and death. And it's a matter of understanding how we can take control of our health. And it can be as simple as, honestly, eating better, drinking more water, exercising. And we all kind of know these things along with mindfulness and better sleep, but for some reason we're not doing it. And we're going to share some insights about those pillars that you're not going to hear anywhere else. And we're going to give you some accountability tools that are going to allow you to make sure you follow through, right? It's just like going to the gym. And going to the gym by yourself can sometimes be challenging, or going for an exercise or workout or whatever. But when you got a buddy that you know is going to meet you there or push you through, then that's what we want to set up for you. And we want to make sure that you get through it, because look, the system we know is not working. We need to take control of our health. And we've got some amazing insights. I mean, just some of the fun stuff that we're going to do, like the yoga and the breath work and all those kinds of things. These are things that you can do anytime. You're going to have access to the recordings. You can do them anytime that you want. You can come join us anytime you want out there at Ventura Beach as well, too. We'd love to have you out, and we do it for free every Tuesday and Friday on the beach. And yeah, just so happy that you could have me on, Ken. We could talk about this and help people.
This has been great. So Skylar wants to know the differences between Chill and Alleviate and all of that. You have different products on there.
Yeah. So the Chill's got a little passion flower, which is a purple flower like chamomile tea. So it helps with stress and relaxation. So that's infused in the whole plant oil. And then the Alleviate's got a little white willow bark, and that's nature's aspirin, which will help with reduce pain and inflammation. So just try those. Alleviates for pain and inflammation, the Chills for stress and deeper sleep at night.
Scott Klein signed up. Eric Bam signed up. Jeff Christensen says, and I love this, God made this plant, not big pharma. Who do you trust more?
Plants over pills, baby.
That's right. That's right. Jill says, what a great idea. Nice site. She knows she builds websites every day for our company and our clients. Scott Klein, 75 hard, baby. That's right. That's right. I actually lost 40 pounds since March of 2020. That is awesome. Most people give up on their goals on January 15th. This has been amazing information. Thank you for your research and helping people. Yes. So, and Trisha lost 44 pounds when she did 75 hard. I lost 30 when I did 75 hard.
And that's what we're talking about here. There are tools, there are things, there are communities that work. And these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I am telling you guys right now, go over to tcoyh.org and sign up right now. And Charles Coachman found those 40 pounds in 2020. That's so funny. Oh, yeah. Go over and get signed up. This is a big event that Justin's having this weekend. Go get signed up. Check it out. Look, it's free to sign up and attend, so you have nothing to lose. Trisha says, I'm late to the convo, but I'll definitely be checking out this site. I am a happy customer. I use Justin's products. I don't use them every day because I forget.
Us guys, we tend to do that. We don't ask for directions and we don't follow directions. That's like 70% of our clients are super raving fans are women, because they do.
Right. Wow. So yeah, I mean, it's incredible when I do take it and use it. And Jill doesn't forget. She uses it. It's clockwork for her. So it works. It works. So listen, everybody that's been on here, if you shared this out, thank you. Justin, was there any that you wanted to? You said you wanted to do a giveaway. Do you want to give anybody anything?
I'm going to go through here and look at that was closest to 32,500 for the Epidialex. And then
you'll reach out to them.
Need some. And yeah, just, hit me up or whatever. We're on a mission to heal the world. I want to teach people how to grow this in their backyard. I want to pass it forward. We were desperate, and we didn't know what to turn. We were at the point where we were losing hope that we would get our son back. And this plant was the thing that unlocked his brain for us. And we want to pay it forward. And I've dedicated my life, this mission, to pay it forward, to break through the stigmas, to give the information, to give the access to the products. And I'm going to be doing it for as long as I need to do it. And so, yeah, just really excited and happy that you could have me back on Breaking Through Walls again, my brother. And I look forward to seeing you again in person one of these soon days, if not Funnel Hacking Live in September in Orlando, hopefully before then.
Yeah.
And just a real treat. And, thank you for all you've done. You're obviously such a great ambassador for me and for my company and for my mission. And
Yeah.
you obviously are the Kevin Bacon of the online world, know everybody, and you've done so much more than you probably will ever know, helping people try plants over pills.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And thank you to everybody who's been on here, especially those of you who shared this out. If you didn't share it out, we're not grateful for you. I'm sorry. Yes, we are. I'm just playing. So thank you to everybody. Seriously. I will see you all later. Justin, thanks so much. Stay with me. I'm going to end the live stream, but thank you to everyone who's watched and hung out with us. Have a great night. See you.
See you on Clubhouse. Just kidding.
Not me.